the pesky pole. And that's going to get down the line. That one looks like it'll stay fair. And goodbye, home run. The pesky pole.
The 2-2. Swinging a fly ball deep down the right field line, slicing by the pesky pole. And that ball hits the pesky pole, which means it's gone. Home run.
3-2 high fly down the right field line. Slicing toward the pesky pole into the corner. And that ball is gone. A green can. Now in a high fly down the right field line, headed toward the pesky pole. Is he going to tuck it inside? Indeed he does. That is gone.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Pesky Podcast. I'm your host, the Ritt. With me is my man, the head writer, Mr. George Sutherland. And bringing him back because I did him dirty the first time, we got the host of our bleeping city, Mikey Gunz. Let's start with you, George. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's beautiful weather up here, and I'm excited for what we're going to talk about tonight. And hey, it's been fun watching the boys play the last couple of days. So let's see if we can keep that going.
Oh man, Mikey, what about you, man? What's been going on your way? What projects you got going on?
Oh man, first of all, thank you for having me back. It's awesome to be with you guys. Two awesome dudes to talk baseball with. So excited to be back. I'm doing a lot better too today after the Red Sox they ain't dead yet. I got some working on some cool stuff for my show, Our Bleeping City, on iSports Radio. I spoke to I met Doc Gooden yesterday. Was speaking to him a little bit just on a little bit back about the 1986 World Series, and he had some great stories to share, which I'll be posting on the Twitter, on my Twitter page at Mikey 2 Gunz and at Our Bleeping City. So I can't wait for that to be for that to be put out there. Been working on that, but I'm really excited to talk today about our two awesome rookies that are they're shining, and they're making a real push for this. I think there's a chance. So again, thanks for having me on. Excited to talk about this today with you guys. Red Sox showing some life, so let's go.
Yeah, of course, after the dismal Houston series, RIP Red Sox was going, trending Twitter wide. But what I sit there and learn, talking with the pesky party girls, Christina and I were sitting there, and we even named the whole podcast episode, toxic relationship with the Red Sox, because just when you want to be done with them, I'm done with you. It's over. All of a sudden, here we are, Kansas City. We lose the first one. We're like, good, done, over with. I'm on to the next one. But then all of a sudden they win one. Then they win two. And then we come back in Tampa Bay last night, and all of a sudden there they are at the doorstep with flowers and candy. Baby, can I come back?
Take me back.
I didn't mean everything I said. I didn't mean everything I said when I was angry. I love you again.
That's right.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's fine.
And it's crazy. Here we are yet again, going right back to them. And there we are in the wild card. We're what? 4.5 games back now? 4.5 back again?
The other two teams are playing each other, so they're beating up on Texas and Houston. So you're going to get a game on one of the two teams.
And Toronto's been, in a back and forth slump. Mm-hmm. We're taking care of Tampa Bay right now. So, man, here we are. So, but let's diverge before we hit to the main course of the podcast of what we're going to talk about with Portland and our future and the Seadawgs and who just got promoted. Let's talk about our two rookies. Now, I sit there and said I wasn't sure which one, but in the beginning of the season, I said a rookie of the year will be coming from the Boston Red Sox. We had two great choices. We had Tristan Casas and we have Yoshida Masa. Here we are. For the longest time, we sit there and thought Masa was going to run away with it to be our front runner coming from the Red Sox. Next thing you know, Tristan Casas got his JanSport on, put the backpack on, and last night single-handedly helped us go ahead of Tampa Bay.
Turn that whole game around.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it now for the past two nights. Yeah. So, Mikey, let's start with you. Tristan Casas, he's been turning it on for the past two nights. What are you seeing with him, and what clicked all of a sudden for the second half of the season for him to get on fire like he is?
Man, I'm so glad he's proved me wrong. I was so frustrated with him when he first came up last year. He just struggled, just looked like bleep. And again, this year he started off really cold, mediocre. But I see now why the Red Sox were so high on him, drafted him in the first round, because let me tell you, when this dude gets on a streak, wow, he gets white hot. Like this guy gets, he's had two really, really, really hot streaks this year, which have both really impacted the Sox's. He's turned around games. He's single-handedly won a handful of games with them just with his hitting. But I've been so impressed with his plate. You don't usually see this with rookies. His plate discipline and his eye for the strike zone. He does not swing at bad pitches. He's got a perfect eye for the zone. And when he gets locked in, watch out. He just starts hitting the ball to all fields. And you can see what the Red Sox saw in him. So I have been so impressed. I've been so excited to see his career now starting to take off, see this potential that the Red Sox always knew that he had, and now we're starting to see it as fans. And he has vaulted himself into second place. Vegas believes it because they've launched him into second place in their odds for Rookie of the Year. But I think he has another few hot weeks like this, and the guy from the Orioles, Henderson has a couple of cold weeks. Your prediction might be coming to fruition, Ritt. So super impressed. I cannot wait. And the Sox still being in it, this is going to get very interesting.
Well, not only that, we have a chance to see Gunnar Henderson 7 games. 7 games. So we have a chance to help Casas and Masa shut down Gunnar.
Great point.
So it's going to be really good. George, what are some thoughts on Tristan Casas you have?
Well, at the beginning of the season, I was frustrated as all get out with him. He just was not performing on both sides of the ball. I mean, he was, it's like I'd be screaming every time, get off the bag, go get the ball. Don't, it's great that you want to try to hold the bag and make the play, but when it's not there, you got to get off the bag and get the ball. You get that's helping your other fielders. Whatever it was, it clicked. It looks like I saw some films today and some stuff. It looks like he changed where his hands are. Okay, maybe up and back a little bit, but he's on, and you can tell he's extremely confident when he comes to the plate. Okay, he's going to make outs, but he's not a problem. Somebody gets him, they'll come back and get him the next time. Okay, he learns. You can see the gears turn. Okay, and he's turned it on. I mean, if you take April and say the first week or so of May out, I'd love to run those numbers and see where they're at because he's just been absolutely electric since then. And he's taken his batting average. He was in the 180s. he's up to almost 270 now. It's what 268 as going into tonight's game. That's there. He's just and he's just beating the heck out of the ball. And he's coming up with big home runs. So, what more can you ask for? And he's demonstrated he belongs. I really had doubts going into the All-Star break, at least in the middle of June. Yeah, he was starting to show a little bit. Then he caught fire in the end of June and in July and August. So, whatever.
Yeah. First off, George, when the April came around and the first 2 weeks of May, everybody was ridiculously crazy. Send him back down. I preached patience because I loved how he was patient at the plate. He might not have been getting the hits, but he was getting on base. And we needed that.
Yeah.
So I wanted him to stay there. And for the second part, I wanted him to stay up there and run through everything in the majors and get major league at bats. Look what they did to Bobby Dahlbeck.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have sent him down to work on things, that would have crushed him.
Right.
That would have crushed him right then. You know what I mean? That would have messed with his mind. Like, whoa, okay, what am I doing? I got to work through down here. It's crazy. Another thing, George, that you sit there and brought up. I don't have all the numbers, but just the MLB OPS leaders. Let me sit there and let me bring this up, and I'll show you guys. Bam. MLB OPS leaders in the second half. Mookie Betts, a 1.141. Corey Seager, a 1.130. Tristan Casas, 1.113.
Wow.
Ohtani, 1.097. And Freddie Freeman, 1.055. Those are crazy numbers.
Wow.
Crazy numbers. On the second half of the season, this is after All-Star break. So
That's too shabby.
he's doing really, really well, like overall with that. Then let's go Red Sox history. The best OPS plus in history for a Red Sox rookie. He is 7th on that list, with guys like Carlton Fisk, Fred Lynn, Ted Williams, Gabby Krabath, Walt Dropo, Mike Boone, and then Jim Rice is right after him. That's great company. Tristan Casas has the best since the MVP Fred Lynn in 1975. That is some great company for this young kid, and that's a lot of weight to put on somebody's shoulders that's so young, but he is so mature. At the beginning of the season, it was crazy how a lot of the Twitter fans were just downgrading him. Oh, he paints his nails. Oh, he sunbathes in the outfield.
Yeah,
dude.
right. Yeah.
I'll paint this kid's nails for him. I will apply suntan lotion on the man if he keeps getting these numbers. Like, I don't care what the man does off the field, as long as he's respectable and he does what he does what he's paying about. Was it?
Do you remember Middlebrooks? Do you remember what Middlebrooks said? He's like, someone tweeted him, yeah, but you can't address him painting his nails. He goes, I don't care, as long as he likes it. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
exactly.
Who cares? It's like exactly. I don't care if he paints every nail different color. If he hits 30 bombs, that's great.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
And the thing of it is, like, I'm old school, so if you never painted your nails and you're a catcher, like, come on now. Like, I had to do it when I caught. He plays first base and does it like because he wants to. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So it's I love how he's handling himself. Even last night in the post game, and they sit there and ask about talking extension. He sits there and says he loves it here. He loves it in Boston. He would love to sit there and talk extension. Right now, let's sit there and throw it out there. George, Mikey, I'm going to sit there and ask a question right now because now it's getting to be a little different now, seeing how Casas become Casas. Who would you extend? You only can have one. Brian Bayo, Tristan Casas. George, let's start with you.
You take care of pitching first. I said this before the last time we talked was Bayo. It's tough to say no to Casas, but you got a good young pitcher. That's controllable. That's the holy grail right now. So for me it would be Bayo, and it hurts me to say it because Casas is maybe a believer, but Bayo because he's a pitcher.
Mikey, what about you?
I agree 100%. As awesome as Casas has been, we've seen in this league, you can replace that position much easier than you can with, and Bayo has the potential to be that stud ace with that. They don't call him the baby Pedro or little Pedro for a reason. Those guys don't come around much. So if you had to hold the gun to my head and say you can keep one, I'm always going to keep the star pitcher or the potential star pitcher. And I think Casas has potential all-star for many years written all over him. However, we've seen, the past decade for the Sox, they've been able to find guys to put at first, and we've had a lot of success. And on the cheap too, you look at guys like Steve Pearce they brought in. He was great. Mitch Moreland. Exactly. Even Justin Turner playing first base. So they can find guys that I think they can find guys much easier to get on that position than you can with pitching. Those once in a lifetime talents, you hold on to them at all costs. So I got to go with Bayo.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you guys, for all the same reasons. But I'm going to bring up the point of, man, can you imagine our corner infield is set for the next 10 years? Mm-hmm. Casas, a 10-year deal. We got Devers on the other corner. That is crazy. And then, just like what we're going to be talking about coming up in a little bit, then you got the middle infield coming up. The catcher behind the plate coming up.
Oh,
our outfield. Like, dude, like we got a lot of guys coming up, and we will be good for many, many years to come. But like you guys both said, I agree. We need to take care of that rotation because Bayo is the first one homegrown since what? Lester?
Yeah.
So
Lester, yep. Buckholz.
Yeah.
Papelbon.
Papelbon came before Lester.
Yeah,
and Buckholz came after Lester.
Yeah.
But Lester.
All in that crunch time frame.
Yeah, and when you consider what Lester went through, the whole cancer thing, and then
amazing,
and Buckholz too. I mean, God love him. He's been dealing with the mental health and that kind of thing, and he's still out trying to make it work. But I mean, the homegrown they have not developed really good, strong homegrown pitching in quite a while.
Is Buckholz still pitching?
No. Not that I don't think.
Is he still? Is he on? Is he with Colorado? Is he still Colorado? Let me look it up. Yeah.
But and the one thing that I loved in spring training was how Pedro took Bayo and was like, "Hey, come here, kid. You got something special, and let me sit there and let me. You're still a piece of coal, but I'm going to make you a diamond.
Yeah.
And
No, he's done. Sorry.
he's he's another kid, just like Casas, that, if he didn't pitch as much as he did last year, he'd be in the Rookie of the Year, talks right there. But Bayo, a lot of pressure has been put on him to be the ace when he was supposed to be our number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, it's crazy how we're being set up, and all these talks I sit there and hear all like on Jared Krabs' podcast about Theo, and then I'm just like, let's give Heim one more year. This is the make or break for him. You can't sit there and have Heim come in and go on and take the blunt for Mookie, get rid of Xander, and build this farm system up to where it's, top 5, and then let him go. The year that there's a luxury tax is reset, where he can start over from complete scratch, and then bring someone else in that take all the credit. You can't do that to the man, Was there more that he could have done?
This far across the river, might as well just let him get across the river with the plan.
Give him one more year and see his vision come to fruition. Tristan Casas, 2025, he could be in the MVP running the way he's playing consistently. Easy. So, Mikey, did you get a chance to bring up Gunnar Henderson's numbers for me?
Let's see.
I've got him if you don't.
Okay. If George has them.
All right, so it looks. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. If you got him, go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead. So,
all right, so Henderson.
George, you want to take Casas' numbers and I'll
Sure.
take mine? So we're going to sit there and compare these three in the AL Rookie of the Year.
So it looks like Henderson. So he's batting .254, which Casas now has surpassed. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That's the. Okay, so his. Oh no, it is okay. He is batting .254. He's got 23 homers, 70 RBIs with an OPS of 813.
Okay.
Casas is 23 home runs, 59 RBIs, hitting .268, and an OPS of 870, almost 60 points higher.
Wow.
Yeah, and his slugging percentage is .503, and Henderson's is .482. That surprised me, but that he's.
What's his WAR?
He's got a 4. Henderson's got a 4.8 WAR.
But I know.
And Casas is 2.1. I don't put a whole lot of.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I'm not a big WAR guy.
I'm not either.
Because you're comparing apples and oranges. He's the other side of the diamond. First base, third base.
Yeah. And
then you talk about Masa. He's an outfielder and he plays left field, which is marginalized in the WAR calculations.
Mm-hmm.
That's a statistical thing that you can bring in.
Yeah.
But I mean, what he's doing at the plate, you can't argue with it. And given the fact that he's been held off from lefties frequently, like I said earlier, he's 60 at bats behind Henderson. And you can own that up to the fact that he hasn't hit against lefties very often. So,
his stats are right there. I didn't realize how he's just as good, if not better, in a lot of these categories. And
he's better in OBP. Casas is better in OBP, slugging, OPS, and OPS plus than Henderson.
Imagine if, like you said, George, earlier, if Casas hadn't had those cold streaks, he'd be far and away. He'd be far and away on top right now. So this is. Casas has a real shot at this, I think. Looking
Yeah.
beast stats.
But let me throw Masa's out there.
Yeah.
Because it was great how in last night's game, Casas did what he did, and then all of a sudden Masa's like, "Whoa, don't forget about me. I'm right here." Masa has 15 home runs, 68 RBIs. He has 8 stolen bases, which
Wow.
which he wasn't really known for stealing bases over in Japan. Batting average is 298, so he's right there floating with the 300.
300.
OBP is 352. His slugging is 469. His OPS is 821. 219 total bases. He's right there.
139 hits too.
Wow.
Yeah. 29 doubles. Like he uses that green monster like nothing for doubles. So like he's right there. Right there with Casas. His numbers are better, but just like Casas, Masa's
He's right
going
there
back
too.
and forth. With he was cold for a little bit. Okay, now we're getting back hot. But I just think with Masa, he's still getting used to the MLB schedule because in Japan you had off every Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the minor leagues now. You're off on Mondays.
Interesting.
So over there in Japan, he had he knew when his rest day was. So now he's getting used to, and so is Alex Cora. Okay, we got to set you here. We're gonna throw Abreu out there. We're gonna throw Rafael out there. We got to give you an extra day of rest because you're getting burned out.
Yeah, the time zone travel's been killing him. He's not, he's not used to hopping on planes and going great distances. And that's a big change for him. And I think they finally figured it out too, because he had kind of slumped a little bit, and they were kind of dealing with it. And then they finally realized that, hey, maybe he hit the wall a little bit, so he's been resting him. I think it's paying dividends now because he's kind of found like a second wind.
Yeah. So, but overall, like I said at the beginning of the season, I'll say it again now. The AL Rookie of the Year is coming from Boston. It's got to. So
you heard it here first.
I sit there and I despise those people on Twitter that want to compare Casas to Volpe.
No.
Hell
no.
And it's like, dude.
No way.
Like the numbers are not even nowhere close. He is not even in consideration. Like he's not even good enough to beat Masa.
So much hype with Volpe, and no. Did not live up to it. I mean, he's been okay. But
Yankees rushed him.
Yeah.
Exactly. I sit there and loved how Tristan Casas got eased into it. They gave Dahlback a chance. They gave him another chance and another chance. And then they're like, okay, let's bring Casas up and see what he's got. But it gave him time down, double A, triple A.
And they stuck
overall.
with Casas. They didn't bounce him back and forth. They kept with him even when he was batting 140.
Yep.
So, but another guy that is doing really well, and we're going to sit there and switch it over, let's talk about how impressive our draft pick this year was. The catcher, Mr. Kyle Teal. He is already within 2.5 months?
Yeah.
Feels like
he's
just got
double A
drafted
Portland
last week.
already.
Feels like he just
Double
got
A
drafted
Portland.
last week.
Yeah. So far.
I hope he didn't sign any long-term leases. My goodness, he's been flying through the system.
Seriously.
Good grief.
I am so thankful for this kid that 9 times out of 10, you got a roommate when you are in the minors.
That's true.
The only reason I know that was, oh man, who did I interview? George, were you there for that interview? And his roommate popped in, and he was the catcher.
Oh yes, who was that?
Uh,
The pitcher down in Greenville.
Joey Stock.
He's a college graduate. Who was that? Oh yeah, he popped in out of nowhere. I'm trying to remember who that was. That was hilarious. We're in the middle of the interview, and he comes in and goes.
Let's see, Greenville. Let's check out the roster because there's only a couple people that I interviewed from Greenville. Let's see here. It wasn't Maceo.
No, it wasn't Maceo.
It was Joey Stock.
Hang on. It was who?
Joey Stock. It had to be.
Okay.
So, but man, Kyle, Jonathan Brand, that's who it was.
Yeah, Jonathan, right.
Yep.
Yeah,
but Kyle Teal.
Yeah.
Two teams are, he was already in.
Oh man, my goodness.
17 games he's played, 60 at bats, 12 runs, 23 hits, 30 total bases, 4 doubles, a home run, 11 ribbies, 13 walks, 11 strikeouts, which he's got to bring down a little bit. 1 stolen base, a 383 batting average, 493 on base percentage, 500 slugging, 993 OPS.
The OPS.
That is crazy. And this kid has just been here for a cup of coffee. So,
right.
George, tell us a little bit. What are your thoughts? Have you got to see Kyle Teal play at all and highlights or anything?
I've seen the highlights. I'm going to next Thursday's game, so I really hope that Chad Epperson starts him. I'm looking forward to seeing him in person. It is amazing. He leaves Virginia. Gets drafted number 1 by the Red Sox, and it's like he doesn't barely stay long enough to do his laundry, and then he's off to the next stop. I think had the draft happened earlier, he'd probably be in Worcester right now, and knocking on the door. But yeah, I mean he's just kind of hasn't lost a beat since he got out of college. And he's mastered every stop that they put him on. The top prospects are in Double-A, so let's see how he matches up here. But I have no reason to think that he won't continue to be as good as he has been. So I'm excited to see him. I really am, especially with everything else they have there. So.
Yeah, Mikey, Kyle Teal. What are your thoughts so far?
I don't know if you guys have seen his release, but I've seen some highlights, his defensive highlights alone, and the guy has just a release time. It's off the charts. He gets the ball out so quick. This guy's going to be a weapon not only on offense, which, the guy can rake. On defense, he's going to be a stud defensively. From what I've seen, he's throwing. Guys are not running on him because he's got a real. I said the release time was just off the charts. I think this guy's going to be in the league pretty quick, especially with the Sox. I mean, Wong's been decent, but we've really haven't had a catcher that's been a real weapon, since Veritek, I'd say. Vasquez was good defensively and had some flashes offensively, but this guy could be the full package. One thing I also want to say, because we were talking about Masa, and I have the Sox game in the background. Masa just climbed the wall and he just jumped over the wall to rob a home run from Arozarena. Wow. And that is one thing that I think also has been underrated in his game. He's been solid defensively. He's been just fine. Like they said he wasn't great, but he doesn't do anything flashy. But he's been solid. And a big game like tonight, he just robbed a home run. Tampa Bay was wanting to challenge it because they thought it might have touched the home run line or whatever, but they didn't get it in time. But if you guys have a chance, check it out. It's impressive. Masa, I mean, again, just another thing he does well.
Yeah, with Masa, people were always worried about his defense, but his defense is there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And speaking of what you said with Kyle Teal about his defense, I swear I seen a video on Twitter that his release was like 3.5 seconds. His catch and release, like those numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if we could sit there and have him come up, 2024, 2024, let the kids be in Portland and then move them up to the Woo Sox. 2025, we have him and Wong both back there. That's going to be crazy.
His pop time, it says 1.9 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Which is like, it's MLB, like high caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, it's just crazy how much this kid. I just don't want them to move him too quick. That's why next year, let him ride his whole time in Double-A, Triple-A.
Yeah,
get his speed underneath him. I want to see this kid next year playing in Scranton. So I could easily see it. But let's sit there and move.
Are you going to deprive me of him for half the season, Ritt? Come on.
Hey, if you take him the first half, I'll take him the second half.
All right,
you know what I mean?
There you go.
So, but not only is Kyle Teal on Portland, but man, our whole future is in Portland right now almost.
We haven't even talked about Mayer at all.
No. We've got Blaze Jordan. He's in Portland.
Yeah.
We got Marcelo Meyer in Portland. Chase Merdroth, Portland.
Yeah.
Nick Yorke, Portland.
Forgot about him, yeah.
Roman Anthony, Portland. Tyler Dearden, good friend of ours, Portland. So, did I miss anybody, George? That's just the batters. I didn't even skim through the pitchers. The pitchers, man, we've got our good friend Hunter Dobbins.
Yeah.
Theo
Luis
Guerrero. He just got promoted. So our good friend of the show, Theo Denlinger, he's down there. Isaac Coffey's down there.
Isaac Coffey, Chris Troy, and Winkleman Gonzalez.
Chris Troy.
That's a name.
I can't wait. October 1st, we got him coming on the podcast. So I can't sit there and wait to be able to talk to him because he's another one like Hunter Dobbins that's being moved really quick. So, and he's one of those strong middle relief pitchers that we definitely need. So, George, Portland's your baby up there. So let's sit there and I'm gonna turn it over to you to talk about a couple key guys that's gonna be the future of Boston years to come.
Okay, so everybody at the start of the season when Marcelo Meyer got promoted was really all excited about that. He got off to a horrendous start, going like 0-19, and then picked it up a little. I saw him play twice. When he hits the ball flies off his bat. and he has good line drive power. I saw him put one over just on a shot over the left center field fence, not the wall, but where the wall drops down, and that ball was a laser shot, just straight, hard, and long. Wow. He was having a little bit of a problem. He's been on the IL for about 3 weeks, maybe. Just kind of slowed him down a little bit. When the rankings came out for the minor league, where he ranked, he was still the number 1 prospect, but in baseball, he's dropped from like the number 4 prospect down to like 11. If you're not playing, you can't help yourself.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he's back in the lineup. Nick York, like all players, they have slumps. He's had a very good season this year. I like to watch his play. He's very good defensively. Hits the ball hard. Blaze Jordan, he can play both first and third. Okay, they drafted him as third baseman. He's known for his power, but defensively he's not horrible. Okay, he's not like you don't close your eyes and go, oh God, please don't. He's more than adequate at the corners. The guy that surprised me, and I've talked about him a couple times, is Chase Mydroth. He is probably your utility guy coming up in the thing. He can play. I have only seen him play short, second, and third. Plays all of them reasonably well. Can hit well. The guy that we didn't mention earlier was a catcher. Was Nathan Hickey. Okay, he can hit. That kid's got power. Okay. If there's not room on this roster for him, in the big league roster, they'll turn him for something because he's a catcher who can hit, and he's improving defensively. The outfield, we talked about Dearden, McDonough. The kid I want to see is Roman Anthony. 19 years old and he's already in Double-A.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, when Mike got hurt, they brought up Brandon Bonacci, a shortstop. He's on the developmental list right now, but he is smooth at shortstop. He really is. He's very smooth at shortstop. Got a little bit of a bat. I think he just needs development in that area, but boy, he's got a good glove. So yeah, they've got some talent there. They've kind of lost a little bit with the up and downs of pitching. They came out of the chute in the second half hot, and I think they're like 5 or 6 games out of the first place, to get in the playoffs for with the 2 weeks to go in the season. So we'll see what happens. But that team is loaded with talent, and the fact that they were trying really hard to make sure that Blaze Jordan, Marcelo Meyer, and Nick York all played together tells you a lot. Especially the Meyer and Jordan combo, because that's your double play combo for the future, I think. Well, I think that York will probably start the year in AAA next year.
Yeah. Do you think Blaze Jordan will have to find a third position to play?
He's going to have to. I don't know if they've thought about putting him in the corner outfield, but boy, outfield's going to be a problem too. He could be part of a trade chip. Okay, he's always had the power. Okay, he always had the wild moon shots. When he connects, he could be. He's one of those things that now they've gotten under the at the end of the year when they get under the luxury tax threshold and they've reset it. He could be one of those things that they move that another club is going to want from him, and he could find success with another organization. So it's not a bad problem to have, because either way he's blocked at third and he's gone unblocked at first. So I don't see him. I don't see him as a bench player, but he could be one of those guys you move to get something else you need, frontline starting pitching.
Me personally, I'd rather move Bobby Dahlbeck over Blaze Jordan, but I think Blaze Jordan might be could be part of a package.
Yep.
To get somebody like Corbin Burns, next season.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. But that's what your farm system's for. You don't have it. You've got, you're fine in the corners right now, so you can take that asset and help flip it into something that you really need, which is a frontline starting pitcher. And that's what it's all about.
Definitely, Mikey. Anybody down there in Portland really catch your eye? Anybody that you reacted or had a conversation with down there in Portland at all?
I haven't been as lucky as you guys to get down to the to Worcester or Portland this season much, but just listening to, I forgot how much talent we had in our minor leagues. Because a lot of times you focus on the high picks, the Teals, the Marcelo Mayers, but hearing George rattle off, all the names of guys that we have, and yeah, we might have a stockpile of talent at certain positions of the same position, but that's a great problem to have, and I think Heim now needs to work his magic and kind of cash in some of those chips that he's been accumulating, because now we have, our farm system it's stocked, it's rich. I'm curious where it ranks overall compared to the other organizations, but I'd like to see some of these guys packaged this offseason to bring in the frontline starter. That's we need pitching. It's pitching. We need middle relief. We need starting pitching. Cash in some of these chips.
It's coming, but it's not there. It's in the low minors right now.
Exactly.
You got Dobbins, Gonzalez, Coffey. Those guys aren't. They're not. They're 2, maybe 3 years away. Yeah. So that's the key. So I didn't mean to cut you off. But.
No, not at all. So, and you can speak to these guys better than I can, because you've seen them firsthand. You've been following them, and some of these guys have joined the show. But it would be nice to see. You can't hold on to all the talent. It'd be nice to cash in some of these chips, and that you think this year, if we had some decent starters, some decent middle relief, we probably would be in a wild card spot right now. So Heim, work your magic, cash in some of these chips, get a starter, get some relief. Hold on to our top guys, because we still have great top end talent coming. But yeah, this is an exciting position to be in for our franchise. It's, we're competitive now, but we have the ability now to go out and get guys with the talent that we have in the minors. So let's do it. Let's cash in some of these chips and make the winning now.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
As of right now on MILB.com, farm system rankings overall puts the Red Sox at number 6.
Wow.
It says the Red Sox were one of 2 organizations to earn an A+ for their under 21 talent in our ratings 2 weeks ago, with the club's top 5 prospects. Oh, I hit the button and it scrolled away.
Number 6. That's pretty impressive, considering where they were a few years ago.
Yeah. So
30.
Because we're near to last.
Yeah.
I like Dombrowski, but his philosophy was win now and trade prospects, and he traded a lot of prospects for guys that helped us win championships. But once he was gone, our farm system was just decimated. So it's nice to see it bounce back so quick to be number 6. So
yeah, and our top 100. I know we went and talked about this a couple weeks ago, but overall, the Red Sox have Marcelo Meyer at number 11. The Red Sox also have Roman Anthony That 19-year-old kid you're talking about, George, number 35.
Huh.
Rafaela, number 73. Kyle
That's gotta be
Teal.
higher.
Kyle Teal, number 83.
Wow.
Already.
in a few weeks.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the top 100. It's been a while since we've had 4 people in the top 100. You know, it's been a while since we had more than one person in the top 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So our future is bright. The pitching, you know, everybody wants to talk about the hitters. The pitching, if we want to sit there and look at it, just in Portland, Isaac Coffey, Hunter Dobbins. Hunter Dobbins this season, let's pull up the stats real quick. 2023, and this is through all minor league. He's 9-6 with a 3.77 ERA, 102.2 innings pitched, 108 strikeouts, and his WHIP's 124. Like, this kid's good. You know, and he was so laid back in the interview we had with him. Found out great. He's a great family guy, all about the family. As soon as we went and posted his interview, man, his little brother sit there and followed us. His grandfather followed us. Like, everybody was like,
That's
dude,
awesome.
okay. I was like, you know, Luis Guerrero's another one. He just got promoted up within the hour. He's 3-2 this year.
Look at that
1.81 ERA,
Yeah.
59 strikeouts, a 113 WHIP. That's crazy. You know, those are good numbers that we have. I want to say him, but I don't want to mess up his name, but it can't be that bad. You know, man, how do I say this?
So with the no, which one I'm trying to figure out which one you're looking at.
Well, we're gonna skip over that one. Christopher Troy, you know, George, we were talking about him earlier. 2-0, 3.53 ERA, 76 strikeouts. His walks are a little high, 1.41 WHIP. You know, he has to get that down, but that's another great one. You know, in our farm system, that's just in Portland. You know, we go up to come on, George, help me out. Who sucks?
I think I can look at the.
Let's see. We got
Who
Bear
are
Claw.
you thinking of? Yeah.
We got Bear Claw, which we seen him come up and just get fed to the wolves. That was crazy. I love this kid. When he's on, he's on. Shane Drohan. Like, when he's on, he's great. This season,
he's ridden the roller coaster this year.
Yes, he has. Let's see here. Brian Mata is one that he had an injury, you know, season this year, but he could be another one that we throw into a package deal to send somewhere. Let's see.
I hope not. He has plus stuff. I
love the kid.
Yep.
So, but, you know, Mikey, what are your thoughts? You know, just talking a little bit about going overall with the package that we have to come up within the next couple of years. You know, we still got Story for another how many years? 5, 6? So, you know, he'll be there he'll still be there when Meyer comes up to mentor him, you know, help him out. You know, but overall, what are your thoughts there, Mikey?
Are you talking about the story in the lineup now?
Oh no,
compared to what's coming up?
just like the future, like how well we're set and what we have in the majors for when they come up to mentor them,
Yeah,
and work with them.
gotcha. We have the formula now that is that's the formula how you win championships. You have to have your mix. You can't just have the whole massive payroll of guys that like the Yankees used to do, where you just high priced players at every position. It's unfolding in a way that we can really perhaps take advantage of it with having some of the, our big guys, Devers and Story, hopefully hitting their stride when we got guys like, Mayer, Yorkel, some of these other prospects in the system coming up where they can potentially contribute a lot at that, rookie salary level. So it's nice to have a guy like Story, up in the club that can potentially mentor Marcelo when he's ready. And I mean, there's no rush. There's no rush for a guy like that with Story right now on the position. We want to give him all the time he can to develop. And like George was saying, George saw some flashes of, greatness from him. It sounds like when he hits the ball, those guys that they say the ball sounds different when it coming off the bat. It sounds like he's potentially,
He's that guy.
Yeah, he's, it's exciting to know we've got guys like that, that, there's no rush for them. Well, we can allow them to develop. And some of these guys have come out of nowhere. Like, I mean, even Rafaela a year or two ago, I barely knew who this guy was. And now he's just some of our I mean, we might have really good player development coaching, in our systems, because some of these guys have just catapulted out of nowhere. And they're making an impact right now. So I'm super excited to see some of these guys I'd love to see Rafaela start with the club next year. Obviously we can turn some of our talent into established players, but I'd love to see some of these guys that are coming up the system, and give them that chance, up here in the show, like Rafaela and some of the other guys we haven't seen yet, Yorkel and some of the other pitching that we just talked about. I'm super excited to see what, where this goes, because I mean, as it is, our team has been really unexpectedly competitive this year. No one really expected it, but we've been really competitive without giving up any of our talent that we've stockpiled, and that we've now seen flashes of with some of the guys they've called up. And next year with some of these guys at the spring, coming with the big club at spring training, developing, learning from some of the big league guys, well, you got some real potential here. And I mean, to have that mix of low salary players with some of our big boys, that's the formula for winning. So next year and the years to follow, I mean, you saw how the Astros did it, where they were really bad for a while, but they stockpiled all these really talented young guys, built up their farm system, and now they've been a bit of a dynasty for, the last 5, going on however many years. It seems like a while, and it's because they really took care of their homegrown talent and built it up, and it's set them up for success they're still dominant now. So I kind of almost see that happening with the Sox right now, and should be interesting to see where the next few years go with this.
Yeah, the same thing out in LA. For the longest time, they build people up overall, and they had a great, next man up mentality. Same thing with down there in Atlanta. You know, they let Swanson walk, and they let Freddie Freeman walk.
Yeah.
And there they are, still dominant as ever. And I want to see the Red Sox be the same exact way. So, George, hit us up with some final thoughts. Anything we talked about, let's go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see the Masa, Casas, Henderson duel for Rookie of the Year. I think the national press in Vegas wants Gunnar Henderson to win, but I think the way that Masa's been playing, like I said, he's found another gear and another, second or third wind, and you can't deny that Casas is one of the hottest players in the MLB right now. So, it could come down. I'd like it to, be interesting in the final weekend of the season let's hope that all three of them are doing, great, and we're going to witness good baseball. But I like the last thought in people's minds is that Boston's two quote rookies, and put Masa in that even though he's played professionally before. I want to see that because that's exciting.
I sit there and love seeing how AC said Casas is hot. He's in the 4 spot.
Yep.
And he'll be there until, he doesn't deserve to be there anymore. And that's something that's crazy. Your rookie is in the 4 spot.
Right. He's also got Duvall behind him protecting him. Okay.
You got Duvall behind him. You got JT in front of him.
In front of him.
You got Devers. You got Yoshi.
Yep.
That's crazy of a lineup. And when you got dangerous hitters around you, you can sit there and you can expect to get better pitches. So,
True.
But Mikey, any closing thoughts for you? The floor is yours. Please plug your podcast and everything else.
Yeah. I think the most exciting part of this rookie race, this AL Rookie of the Year race, will be we're going to see them all head to head for a bunch of games now. And I think that might be, depending on what happens there, that could be the deciding factor right there. We're going to have a firsthand. Our guys are going to be right up against their guy. So let's see what happens right now in crunch time. When it's a tight race. So I'm excited to see that. It's been a pleasure to join you guys again. If you guys want to catch my podcast, it's every Wednesday from 7 to 8. It's called Our Bleepin' City. It's on IE Sports Radio. You can get it on all of the platforms. You can look it up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's on Spreaker app, YouTube. Our Bleepin' City. I'm on Twitter at Mikey 2 Gunz, at Our Bleepin' City as well. Just it's been a fun hour talking Sox and talking future. Hope to do it again soon with you guys sometimes.
Hey, I had to bring you back. Like I said in the beginning, I felt I did you dirty with my horrible internet service that day. But I had to bring you back to show you that, hey, look, this is what it looks like when it all goes smooth.
Without dial-up, right?
Oh,
should have been a commercial for their service versus our service.
It was worse than dial-up.
Oh, yeah. It was the old acoustic coupler thing. You put the phone.
One thing I want to sit there and throw out there, I'm going to put out there in the Twitter world. I'm going to do another contest. If Tristan Casas wins the AL MVP, we're giving away a Me Casas as Sue Casas t-shirt. We've got to. We've got to. We just went and gave away a Halkamania shirt. That went out to I can't remember his name, but let's sit there and see. Daniels White. So he won that shirt. But no. If Casas wins, we got to give away a shirt. So I'll be posting that on Twitter. Head on over to our shop. The link is in our Twitter bio. Get yourself a shirt. George is up there. George is a drinkaholic. This man's got glassware from us for days up there. So,
well, you see the pictures of the bar. You have to, you have to fill it up, right? So it can't all be booze. You have to drink from something.
Yeah,
so.
Mikey, the white Steph, those are in the mail. You should be getting them within.
Oh, I got them. I got them. Love them. I got them.
Oh, today. You got them already?
Awesome. Yes.
Oh.
Packed nicely, all intact. I should, I should have had the glass out.
I sit there and always worry shipping stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, to make sure nothing breaks.
Yeah.
But guys, head on over to iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all major platforms, our YouTube page. Follow us, subscribe, download the podcast. We've had great interviews on there. We've had great guests. We're going to continue this. This ain't going to be no one-stop shop podcast. One season, we're done. We're hitting here for the long haul. And, guys, we enjoy you guys sending us questions, commenting. The downloads are there. The sales are there for the merch. We appreciate all you guys. But for Mikey Two Gunz, for my man George, and the Ritt, thank you for listening to the Pesky Podcast.